Okay, what I'm going to try to do is run through an entire SAT here if my device will let me, if my screen time is good enough. So I'm going to go to College Board, Practice, SAT, so public domain, anybody can get these. I'm going to look at one that I've never seen before. I've done some videos on Bundle 4. Let's see. I'll just come down here. Bundle 8 sounds good. Okay. I'm going to go Practice Test. It's got all the answer explanations. And what I'm going to do is just snip these so I can draw. I know there's ways you can probably write on these. I'm not sure how, but I'm going to run through each of these, just run through the entire test here just to work it out. Okay, so number one, remember it goes from easy to hard here. Number one says a bus is traveling at a constant speed. D equals 30t gives the distance. A road marker. How many feet from the marker will the bus be 2 seconds after passing the marker? Just stick a 2 in for t. 30 times 2 is 60. So C is correct for that one. So that one would be C. Number two, for a particular machine that produces beads 29 out of 100 has a defect. A bead produced by the machine will be selected at random. What's the probability of selecting a bead that has a defect? Okay, probability is just favorable over total. So that would just be 29 out of 100. So it's C. Number three is an exponential graph. We can tell by looking at it. What's the y-intercept? Y-intercept is where it crosses the y-axis. That would be 0, 8. So it's D right there. 0, 8, where it crosses the y-axis. Number four, which expression is equivalent? 2x squared plus x squared is 3x squared. So that eliminates A and B. X plus 6x is 7x. Okay, negative 9 plus 1, is negative 8. So D for number four. Let's go down. Number five, an analyst collected data on the piece of a carton of grape tomatoes, 30 locations selected random in Utah. The mean price was $4.23 with associated margin of error of 8 cents. Okay, so what this is a sampling. So you're not going to hit 423 every time, but it gives you something called a confidence interval. So margin of error means you can subtract from and add to. So if you subtract from, that'd be 415. If you add to, that would be 431. So it would be between, so it's A, between 415 and 431. That's called a margin of error or confidence interval. Number six, let's see, what value of X is the solution? So I'm doing this on decimals. This is easy. It's just 0.2. Let me show you on decimals. I have a tab right here. And just so remember, decimals is very helpful in the SAT. I'm going to type that in just to confirm 0.2. Okay, so that one's pretty simple. Number seven, out of 30 seeds that were planted, 80% sprouted. So 80% times 300, that would be 240 would be the correct answer. So I'll show you right here, 0.80 times 300, 240. Now you could also set up a proportion with that. Number eight, now function notation. They like function notation. For the linear function f, b is a constant, and f of 7 equals 28. What is the value of b? So I'm going to write this one out just to show you. Let me get my snip going here. It's the only way I know to write. So snip. I'm going to take the snip here. So f of 7 is 28. Okay, so if f of 7 is 28, that means I put 28 where f of x is, and as you put 7 where x is. Okay, so I get this equation. So 28 equals 28 plus b, so you can see the answer here is going to be 0 for that one. Okay. Number 9, right angles LMN and PQ are similar, where L and M correspond. Correspond means the same location to P and Q respectively. All right, angle M has a measure of 53 degrees. What is the measure of angle Q? All right, M and Q, if you'll notice, are both in the middle, so that means they correspond. And the other thing to know here, similar means all your angles are congruent. You have different side lengths, but same angle measures. So it's going to match. The answer is going to be 53 degrees. 10, what is the equation of the line that passes through the point 0.5 and is parallel to the graph of y equals 7x plus 4? The answer is going to be B, 7x plus 5. But if you didn't know that, just graph it. Let's look at it. So y equals 7x plus 4. So there that is. Y equals 7x plus 5. Okay. Definitely look parallel. I'll put the point 0.5. You can see the purple line does run through there. And the reason I knew that so quickly, I know that parallel lines had the same slope. Okay. So B and C had that slope, and this is the location of the y-intercept. Please know y equals mx plus b. please know that parallel lines have the same slope. Perpendicular lines have opposite reciprocal slopes, by the way. Hope I don't skip one. Number 11. They're going to get harder as we go. Oh, number 11 is a good one here. It looks like, yep, okay. So all they're testing you here on is, do you understand this is a negative slope? This is a negative slope based on the looks. And you cross through here at approximately 10. So your y-intercept should be 10. So look down here. Y-intercept should be 10. All right, so that means it's a negative slope. Y-intercept, it's got to be B. See the negative slope and the positive y-intercept? So it's B for that one. That's just knowing what a line is really well. Number 12, exponential, okay? A model predicts the population of Bergen was 15,000. That's an initial amount, 15,000. So that makes me think it's C or D. Let's keep reading. The model also predicts that for the next 5 years, the population increased by 4%. Yeah. So the correct answer here is D. When you do an exponential, exponential just means you have a variable and exponent. You're continually multiplying. But this is your original amount, and this is what you are either going up or down by. So this would be going up by 4%. Notice this is less than 1. That would be going down by 4%. This would be an incredible growth. You don't want to do that or this. So we'll make sure 15,000 is in the correct place. It's definitely D for that one. Let's do 13. 13, system of equations all day long. We just go to delta math. There's no reason, Desmos, wrong thing. Desmos. I get those D softwares mixed up. 2x plus 8y. I'm changing the letters because Desmos likes some x and y better. 2x plus 4y equals 98. 2x plus 4y equals 98. Great. Okay, so I got to find where they intersect, and they intersect right there. Negative 125. So what's it say? The solution, what is the value of B? Okay, so B would be 25. Be careful, get that y coordinate. Okay, so that's 25. So look at number 14. The expression given is equivalent. Okay, equivalent means they look different but have the same value, where R is a constant. What is the value of R? Let's write this one out again. So let me snip again. Let's snip it. Okay, so I got my tool. All right, let's snip this thing. Okay, so if I were to factor this out, 90 y the fifth minus 54 y the fourth. So notice they took something out so that there's a 15 here and a 9 there. What did they consistently divide by? Well, they divided by 6, didn't they? And you can go in your calculator to verify. 9 divided by 6 is 15. 54 divided by 6 is 9. Now that y the fourth that they have written right there, that took those exponents, these exponents down to 1y and 0y's, but R is going to be 6. That'll be the answer to number 14. This will be 6. All right, 15. It's going to start working its way harder here in a minute. The graph is shown where f is defined, blah, blah, blah. A and b and c are constants. For how many values does f of x equal 0? Okay, f of x graphically is like a y coordinate. So it's just asking how many times does it cross the x-axis? Because when you cross the x-axis, your y value is 0. So it's here, here, and here. F of x equals 0. That is a y value. Therefore, that's an x-intercept. Their answer is 3. 15 is C. 16. Let's look here. 16. The area of a square centimeters rectangular cutting board can be represented by the expression given. W is the width. What's the expression represents the length of the cutting board? Okay, so the area is, let me make sure I got this right. This is D, right? The area, so area of a rectangle is length times width. So this is the area. Okay, so if that's the width, then the length represents length. Yeah, it's W plus 9. So the answer is D for that. A equals LW, and W plus 9 is in the L position. Number 17. All right, this is called a literal equation, where we're just moving values around a bit. So let's do that. Let's cut this one. Let's cut it so we can move. We need 4j plus 9. When you see in terms of, that means to get that thing by itself. So let's get 4j plus 9. There's actually a quick way of doing this. I'm going to show you the more, probably the more common way here. But the quick way, let's do the common way first. Anything on the bottom, just multiply by it. Okay, so if I multiply by 4j plus 9, that's p times 4j plus 9 equals k, and then you just divide by p. Okay, that'll limit. So then 4j plus 9 is equal to k over p, which happens to be a. We have it visible right there. I cut it so you can't see C or D. Another nice trick here with proportions, you can force this to be a proportion, is you can swap opposite corners and you're still the same value. So if I were to swap those two, you'd have 4j plus 9 equals k over p that way. But either way, it's A for that one. Okay, what number we on? We're on 17, okay. 18, circle A has a radius of 3 in, circle B has a radius of 129 in. The area of circle B is how many times that of circle A? Okay, so let's cut this one. New, okay, so area of a circle is pi r squared. So we'll say the area has a radius of 3 in, okay. So therefore A's area, pi r squared, that would be 9n squared pi, wouldn't it? Okay, because you got to square the 3n. B has a radius of 129. Now, if you square 129, that's a very big number. We'll have to go to Desmos to see that. And just to illustrate the point, let's get Desmos here. So 129 squared is 16,641. So 16,641 divided by 9, 1,849. Yeah, so it's going to be D right there. What you could have alternatively done is divide 129 by 3, which is 43, and then square 43. So it would be 1849. So it's a little tricky there. You got to realize that variable got squared. 19, the measure of an angle R is 2 pi over 3 radians, excuse me. The measure of angle T is 5 pi over 12 radians greater than the measure of R. Okay, so two things here. We got to be able to add those, and we've got to be able to convert over to degrees. So let's do that. So let me get a snip. All right, so let's add 2 pi over 3. So basically we're adding 2/3 and 5/12. Let's do that. So 2/3 plus 5/12. Okay, that's the same thing as 8/12 plus 5/12. That would be 13/12, wouldn't it? Because this would be 8/12. We have to have the same denominator when we add. Now, this is a pi. To convert from radians, which is the number of radiuses or radii that wrap around the circle, to degrees, you multiply by 180 over pi. Okay? So that cancels. 12 goes on 180 15 times. 15 times, see, that's 150, and 4, that's 195. So the correct answer would be C, 190.